Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. How do you do? Welcome along. It's been a while since I've said that. It's been a while since we've been here. We are here for round 13 of the NORL F1 2017 Championship. It's been a while, but we are back in action at a wet Monza, it would seem. Kind of reminiscent to a few years ago, kind of vice versa to what happened with the race in 2008, which saw Sebastian Vettel take his first ever win in Formula One. We're just getting things finishing. We're just finishing setting up a few things here. I'm sure you can watch these guys go and get their stuff sorted while we just do. We just do a few audio checks and stuff to make sure we are coming through loud and clear on the screen. So let me just get these pieces of information out for you. And there you go. So, who is the furthest car ahead? It is... We got a lot of cars out right now, and I believe it's Paddy Brick who's the furthest ahead, so we'll focus on him just while we get through these audio checks and make sure everything's working hunky-dory, and then I'm sure we will be good to go for the racing to begin. And we have a yellow flag in Sector 2, but that is already taken care of itself, so that is all fine and dandy. Truth be told, I'm actually looking for my phone so I can just check in on the stream and make sure my audio is coming through all right. We do have 5 guys watching, so if one of you could please let me know if the audio sounds okay to you in the chat, that'd be much appreciated, and we can turn our attention fully back to the stream, but I believe it is. I don't see any reason why it shouldn't be. We are running a new headset setup though. A completely new setup. We should have done a little bit better than we have done. A little bit less background noise and stuff like that too. So hopefully that is the case and you guys can hear everything just a bit better and we can go from there. In the meantime, just give me 1 second. I don't know how these things disappear. Anyway, let's continue. Let's get professional for a moment. We're watching Paddy Brick out on his lap. He should be, in terms of out doing a lap, we have a McLaren cutting a corner, and in the background there, McLaren going wide, cutting the corner, lap time potentially invalidated for that McLaren in the background. Paddy Brick, 24, has gone and lost it out the Lesmo. Almost put it in the wall for Paddy Brick. That could have been terrible. Wow, the rear of that Force India is absolutely all over the place. Paddy Brick struggling. A lot of guys, of course, are running low downforce setups because it is going to be in the dry, potentially. I believe that the race is going to be in the dry, so a lot of guys are going to be running low wings for the race tomorrow. There goes Paddy Brick into the wall. That's not a DNF, but it is a big accident for Paddy Brick, and it is a front wing gone. Not the start Paddy Brick wanted to the proceedings this evening. It's the first time back since Christmas, and a lot of rust on a lot of these drivers, and showing it can really play such a big part is Paddy Brick, and he has gone for a trip into the wall. Oh dear. In the meantime, bear with me for just 1 second. We have found we found the furnace Blizzard 53, a new driver. We will discuss the new drivers in just a second. We found the mystical firm. We can quickly do our audio test and make sure we are live and ready to go. We're good. Everything should be coming through just fine. If anything isn't working or you can't hear the game as much and you want me to turn the game up and stuff like that, just let me know and I will be sure to meet your needs for the rest of the evening. So, with that being said, we are ready to watch everyone else. So, let me explain a few things to you. You're looking at this man in a Ferrari. He's a new driver. You might be thinking, who's these guys? There's a few names here I don't know. We do have some new guys. We have 5 new drivers. All of them are from the UK, and they have come to refill the grid. Chazza goes fastest in professional pole, another provisional pole for Chazza at the moment. Take a look. Callum J. Spencer coming up into the Ascaris chicane. Anyway, so we have 5 new drivers. They're all from the UK, and they've all come from one way or another, and this is to fill the grid back up because the grid was dwindling a lot. We had quite a lot of dropouts as a lot of guys didn't like the game, had other commitments and other things like that. You know, things that just happen in sim racing, nothing you can control, and it just happened. They're all from the UK, starting off with Blizzard, who's in P2, KLC and IDJ. IDJ not here tonight, it doesn't seem, but they've all come on the recommendation of on KB Killer Zone. They are racers that have raced against KB Killzone in the past, and he's brought them over to come race with them. Some of them are going to be racing on the Project Cars 2 side of NORL 2. Seppi, who is currently in P8, he's been in the PS4 community of NORL for some time, never passed the test to get into NORL though until recently, where he refined his racing, and he is now in on the test, and he's obviously succeeded in said test, and he's got through into the series. David, I'm going to butcher you, mate. Mate, if you're watching, if anyone's watching, I'm going to butcher this name. It looks like it's spelled David, and I will always probably go back to that. But I've been told by this man, Callum J. Spencer, that it's actually pronounced Dafiv in Welsh. So I'm going to try my best to remember that. He took part in the F1 2014 pre-season test. Nemesis has retired. That is a selective retirement. He's not retired by force. He took part in the F1 2014 pre-season test, but he couldn't commit to the championship, and therefore he he couldn't commit, so he hasn't competed. But this is his first NORL championship in 3 years, and we are fully back. So the grid should be back up to, according to the leaders, the grid should be back up to 20 grid. 20 full-time racers for the first time since round 1. We don't have 20 people here today. We've got some guys with other commitments. Callum J. Spencer is going to come up to the line. What time will he do? It's a 31. And I think that lap time was invalid. He has to go again because it did not update on the board. Chazza, meanwhile, only just holds pole position from Blizzard 53. So these guys will be doing battles to the death at the top, I am sure. And we can go from there. Dafiv is coming out the pit lane for another run at things. Let's go see who is out on the track. We've got Ragnar on his out lap. He's going to be coming through Ascari shortly. I believe Norfolk Blue might be on a lap 2. No, he's just come back into the pit lane. So a lot of guys going back out for their out laps. I believe KLC is out on a lap. We can ride on board with the Williams. 132.6 is his current time. He's in P9. He needs a bit of time to catch the likes of Nemesis Racing. He needs about 2 tenths to catch and pass Nemesis Racing. He needs 3 tenths really to secure it, but he needs half a second and then a bit more to catch the likes of 6th and 7th. A lot of these guys are going to be a little bit inexperienced. We don't know what other leagues, I don't know what other leagues they've raced in the past, and therefore, you know, it's kind of a little bit of an issue to judge and find out who is where. Galactical 2 has retired from the session. That was by choice. Oh! And that looks like the lap is over for KLC. He's continued going, but I don't think he'll be improving. We've got a yellow flag in Sector 2. Who is that from? Is that just from Galactical 2 retiring? Yes, it is. KB Killzone, speak of the devil and he shall appear. Needs to set a time, as does JD7. This is interesting. JD7, KB Killzone. Did JD7... I haven't been informed of penalties for this evening by the leaders, so if anyone's eagle-eyed and been watching the feeds, please let me know if there is any penalties I need to be aware of for well, for today, because KB, it's not like JD7 to not set a time, that's all. That's a bit odd. I haven't been informed of any penalties, so I don't believe there is any, but why would JD7 not be taking a like, maybe he's gambling on it coming dry towards the end of the race. I'm not sure. We'll have to find out what JD7's strategy is. Okay, we are all good to go then, and we're just watching KB Killzone, who's come across a little bit of traffic that might have distracted him just a little bit. We'll ride on board with him as we come through the first or second of the chicanes, riding on board with the Haas. I am sure he is going to be pushing like an absolute madman, and we're just looking out for them split times to see what split times come in and what we can do. So let's watch the Haas do its work down its way to the Ascari chicane. Heavy down on the gears for KB Killzone, a man who could very much take pole position today. He's done it many times before, done it many times this season. Is he on his way? Out the final corner, he comes in up to the line. KB Killzone, is he going to take pole position? Yes, he is, by a whopping 3 tenths of a second. Provisional pole goes to that man in the Haas. And the likes of Chazza. Oh, Chazza's out on a lap, but he's coming out behind a Williams of traffic. That's a lap ruin, potentially, for Chazza. Oh, he's got to hurt. That Williams has got to get out of the way. That Williams is interfering. He's just come out of the pits. This is interference from KLC. KLC needs to get out of the way. He's giving him a little bit of slipstream, but this is impeding at this point for KLC. This is naughty from KLC. This is the inexperience coming into play. This could very well, that could very well be a penalty for KLC for next time out. We'll have to see what the stewards think of that, but that was definitely, in my opinion, impeding. And I'm not pointing any fingers in saying that KB Killazone recommended him to the league, but just a very fortunate set of circumstances for KB Killazone. We have a yellow flag in Sector 2. It's because Norfolk has spun out and found himself off the track. He now retires from the session. We have a Renault going very wide in the background too. I don't think Chaz we got a Williams off. The Williams that was causing issues has now gone on, as made famous by the mighty Spaniard Alonso would say, karma at that kind of incident. And wow, he was very reckless in coming back on the track. Can't nearly hit him. KLC, a little bit to learn, I would suggest, for next time. Next qualifying, he just needs to know who is who and when to get out of the way and stuff like that. So, bit unfortunate for him. But he has, unfortunately, impeded Chazza, stopped any chance. Saying he impeded Chazza, in my opinion. But Bo Blizzard takes provisional pole by a 1/10 of a second on his debut. Could this be pole position for the man on his debut? That will be an impressive stuff, something we haven't seen for a while, especially in the F1 series. We've seen it a few times in the Project Cars series, never in the F1 series though. Unless his friend, his good old friend KB Killazone, can match and pass him. We still have Callum Spencer, JD7, all yet to set a lap. JD7 is another one that could take pole position today, another very fast driver, but he's left it a bit late. He's only going to get one shot at it. KB Killazone on the run out of Ascari. Where was JD7? JD7 is going to be the next one to cross the line, I think. The McLaren, oh, a lock up for JD7 as he comes around Parabolica for the final time in this session. Can JD7 come out of nowhere and snatch pole position and be the next man they all need to be across the line? No, he can't. Only 4th place for JD7. We've got to go back, find KB Killazone. He's coming up to Parabolica now. Is he going to take pole position? Yes, he does. A 1:29.7. What a lap time from KB Killazone. Absolutely incredible lap. 0.3 of a second. And that is the qualifying master we are so used to. Very fast over one lap, this man. And he was very hard to beat today. And unless anyone else has something very special for us, I believe that is it, because Dafiv is slowing down. He's out of fuel. That is your qualifying session done, ladies and gentlemen. It's this man, KB Killazone, who takes a very convincing pole position. KB Killazone, we're used to these kind of lap times. Dafiv has pulled over on the side of the road. This is he's trying to stay out the way. But he's ran out of fuel, and yeah, he's gambled with fuel clearly and lost on that one. But a P6. Let's talk about the debutants today. Arguably the best debutant in qualifying, up in P2. Incredible scenes for him to be up in P2 on his debut. Dafiv is, I'm not sure what's going on here, but Dafiv takes P6, as you can see there on his debut. And there's the qualifying then for tomorrow's race in game. We're about to go to the race in just a moment. Dafiv takes P6, KLC P13, Seppi P14, and Blizzard P2 for the debutants. But KLC has a little bit to learn in terms of traffic and where he is on the circuit. And other than that, we can see there was a lot of exceeding track limits, speeding in the pit lanes. A lot of guys were really pushing the limits, and they got away with invalid lap times, so no further penalties though. That's for sure. And just wait for things to get underway, and we will be with you in just a moment. Here we are then. I believe that was the siren coming down and getting ready for us to get underway. We are going for the formation lap right now. KB Killerzone then takes the pole position like we stated. Blizzard, very impressive on his debut, takes P2. He's ahead of Chazza, an experienced veteran, a man who loves the counter strategy. But he doesn't love it today. He's going for the soft compound tyres. Blizzard is going for the mediums up in P2 there. So the counter strategy coming from JD7 too. Let's go look and see what tyres everybody is running. Quite a lot of mediums in the top 10. And only one super soft runner in Anel Tanovic. So we'll keep our eye on Anel because he'll be stopping before everybody else. Yeah, so this is going to be interesting, and look how much spare fuel JD7's taking on board down there. That's intriguing. I'm going to switch this back then to the position change, if we can. There we go, as we get ready for the race. So a lot of guys on the mediums. Anel Tanovic we're just giving the voice, but we've had a spin on the formation lap of JD7 and Chazza getting involved there. They will be disqualified from the formation lap. That's all they will get, disqualification from the formation lap. Somehow Norfolk's ended up at the front during all of this. Chaotic. But luckily for them, they're allowed to keep going. And our cars line up on the grid. Unfortunately for us, no tyre burning for these guys on the grid on this game. That would be very nice to see. But we get ready for the race to begin here at the Theatre of Speed, Monza. Here we go then, 5 red lights. Lights out and away we go. It looks like a pretty even start between the top two. They're going to drag race all the way down into turn 1. Does the Ferrari have an option to go up the inside? No, he does not. But a great start by Chazza. Might see him take an opportunity around the outside as JD7 gets another great start. He's going to battle for second into turn 1 and 2. They go. JD7 up into P2. Great start by him. Now that puts Blizzard under a little bit of pressure from Chazza maybe in the background. Not going to happen on that occasion. But Anel Tanovic making a great start on the super soft tyres as they run up to the second chicane. We've got a yellow flag in the background. We're going to go try and see what's happened there. We've got a crash in Kevin Jacobs. Super Ninja Skills and KLC have all come together on the very first lap. Those guys coming together. Meanwhile, the battle is still not finished at the top though. JD7 trying to have a little bit of a battle. Anel Tanovic made a great start on the super soft tyres. That's seen him up into P4, taking that position away from Chazza. Next up, it's Ragnar trying to assault the back of Calnger Spencer, but he gets a little bit sideways in the back of that Renault. We've got a crash in the background. Paddy Brick's gone off into the wall. He goes. Big accident for Paddy Brick. He went off into the gravel. That fired him back across the track. More damage for Paddy Brick in a similar way to how his qualifying ended. And things calmed down a little bit and a little bit hectic as Chazza now will try and make his way past the return for the position into P4. He'll have to do it up the inside of Parabolica, not going to be able to do it on that occasion. Backs out of it, will now pull back to the slipstream of Anil Tanovic and try to do it under slipstream. We got a yellow flag in sector 3, but we're focusing on this battle right now. It's hard to tell who's who. Callum Spencer's had an incident. He's off and has dropped 7 positions from his starting place. He's going to have to pray for a safety car to make something of this race. Chazza was unable to do anything down the start, finished straight on Anil Tanovic, and now he's coming under a bit of pressure himself from Norfolk Blue. 5-second stop goes galore for the guys driving into the pit lane for repairs on their car. Norfolk Blue getting oh so close to Chazza, up the inside potentially. Big double lockup. Has he got the move done? Yes, he have. Textbook move from Norfolk Blue as he swerves across the track to make sure that position is taken care of. Great move from Norfolk Blue, textbook stuff. And away we go. Now Blizzard trying to get the pressure back on the other medium runner JD7. Meanwhile, xxkillshotzxx can see this all happening in his rear view mirror, and he's trying to drive away as quickly as he can because he's on the soft compound tyre. These two behind him are on the medium. A compound harder if you're new to the Formula 1 system of tyres. These medium tyres will go longer than the soft tyres, but at the expense of being slower and offering less grip. And these two, what a battle, because this could be for net first place at some point in the race. He looks to the inside. It's a bit of a dummy to try phase out JD7, but you're going to have to get up out of bed very early to scare JD7 off the road. Multiple race winner, championship leader, and a very strong force to be reckoned with. JD7 pulling away a little bit in the straight line, so you kind of get an idea here of what wings people are running. Big lockup for JD7, that allows Blizzard to close right in, but unfortunately JD7's still got a better exit than him. Anil Tanovic really making great efforts on these super soft tyres for traction. We can see the two Toro Rossos of Galactic Skull 2 and Dafiv going side by side. That has squeezed Colin McAllister up and now puts him under a bit of pressure from Seppi, who gets squeezed out by the Scotsman with more experience. He slams the door in the Sauber's face. That's that little tussle dealt with for now, unless anything can happen into this next chicane. And I think that is all business settled for now on for these guys. Through the chicane they will come. 5-second stop go penalty for corner cutting. Very harsh penalty if that is indeed corner cutting for Callum Spencer. I wonder if he's cut that rather significantly. But either way, we're getting ready to do battle again, because it looks like this Sauber's got a better run than the McAllister's, aka Galactic Skull 2's Toro Rosso in the background. They both have DRS though, but Colin McAllister's lost his teammate a little bit. That means the Sauber's going to have more slipstream than Colin McAllister does, and unfortunately that's really not going to do much for Seppi. He'll have to wait, but Colin McAllister goes wide. That's going to give something for Seppi to have a go at. He's going to be right up the back of that Toro Rosso as we make the run up to Parabolica now. You have yellow flags in sector 3 once again. Who is that? I think that may have been Kevin Jacobs. Seppi was unable to do anything in Parabolica, but out of Parabolica, no, he will come, and he will surely have a little bit of DRS assistance to give him a go into turn 1. Norfolk Blue pits. Very early stop from Norfolk Blue, considering he started on soft compound tyres, so maybe damage. They are changing the front wing of that Ferrari, so definitely damage. And Seppi unable to do anything about McAllister, because McAllister has better top line speed. I keep saying McAllister is Galactic Skull 2, but his real name is Colin McAllister. That's how you can understand that one. Blizzard got a little bit out of shape there. That's going to allow the better traction of the super soft runner of Anil Tanovic to have a little go into Lesmo 1. Is it? No, it's not. He now looks to the inside. Surely he's going to attempt a little move to Lesmo 2. No, he hangs back. He's going to opt for the DRS option, but he needs better traction out of the corner than that, and it's not going to allow him to attack into the Ascari chicane. I don't think. Paddy Brick in the pits as well, so that front wing damage really get into Paddy Brick now, and you can see in the background of this Chazza is closing back in on these guys. I think we just saw a car going astronomically wide. It's JD7. Big mistake from JD7 through Ascari chicane, and he loses 2 positions. Now will come under threat to lose a 3rd position of Chazza, who looks to the inside. It's going to be a straightforward move unless JD has got some magnificent brakes. Paddy Brick leaves the session. He'll be able to get back in if he rejoins. Meanwhile, Chazza is going up the inside through Parabolica. Is that the job done? It is for now, but JD7 looks to the outside line. Who's going to get the DRS assistance on this one? Will it be Chazza because he was ahead on the DRS detection? Yes, it will be. But even with DRS, they both got DRS. Okay, JD7 is pulling back with the help of DRS to go around the outside. Look how close these guys are, banging wheels coming into turn 1. JD7 goes around the outside, turns to the inside, squeezes Chazza out. Job done for JD7. Comes back from a mistake, and that is how you mount a comeback immediately. Written by JD7. Excuse me, I am going to have to take a drink here, but we can see Anil Tanovic is having a go on Blizzard, so give me 1 second. JD7's driving through an invisible car now, Paddy Brick. He was not disqualified, but disconnected from the session. Absolutely crazy stuff. I'm struggling to keep up myself. It's like the good old days. Once again, the grid being reformed has really brought some action to the grid. 0.6 of a second between Chazza and JD7. DRS for Chazza at the moment. JD7 just locked up, went straight up for the Ascari chicane, but Anil Tanovic really game with DRS on the Ferrari there. This is wonderful news if you're a KB Killzone fan, because these guys are holding each other up something fierce. No DRS down this back straight, but that doesn't seem to be bothering Anil Tanovic. Look how close he is, almost pushing him around Parabolica now. Out of Parabolica they can come. This is going to be absolutely ferocious to see, because DRS now for Anil Tanovic will surely mean at least an attack will happen into turn 1 for second place. Anil Tanovic will look to the outside as the Ferrari goes defensive, hard on the brakes, both of them a little bit of a squeeze by the Ferrari on the Force India. The Force India is going to try and get a textbook cutback by taking a wider line. Doesn't help him on that opportunity, but he's got better traction, so he might be able to mount an attack coming into the second chicane. It's going to have to be something special, or Blizzard's going to have to make a mistake. Either way, that would help Anil Tanovic considerably. And nothing on this occasion. Anil Tanovic will slot back in and wait for his next opportunity. But Blizzard does pick... Oh, as we speak of opportunities, he goes off into the gravel. Loses a bit of time. That might put him under a bit of pressure from JD7 behind once again. And but in all of that, Blizzard did pick up a 3-second time penalty for corner cutting. There's still all to play for. 0.3 of a second separates JD7 and Anil Tanovic. We've seen just how fast that McLaren is in a straight line. Anil Tanovic is his next victim. Going into the Ascari chicane, he squeezes, bangs wheels with Anil Tanovic. Anil Tanovic gets a 3-second time penalty there. That was a bit unfair considering he was forced off, and now he will come back. A little bit of rubber banding on the JD7's McLaren, and he's going to have a go into Parabolica. I'm sure he uses the slipstream, pulls to the inside line, tries to get the position back immediately. Going to be hard on the brakes up the inside. No, he is not. Pulls back, waits for the DRS assistance on that one. But in the meantime, Chazza is going to have an absolutely first-class seat right on the front row of this battle, and if anything goes wrong, Chazza is there to pick up the pieces, so they've got to be careful on this one. No DRS for the McLaren, DRS for the Force India though. We got some lag going on between them. Kind of hard to tell what is going on. Anil Tanovic has a short life on these super softs. He needs to get a move on and get past JD and stay ahead to make the strategy work for him this evening. A little bit of calming silence, that's good to hear, because we can get our breath back. I just saw a bit of carbon fibre go flying off. I think that was the Ferrari. I think the Ferrari just lost a little bit of its front wing there. That's interesting. Very interesting. Chazza looking to the inside. He's not going to do it. Got to wait until after the Ascari chicane, because Anil Tanovic goes a little bit wide, and that's very good news if your name is Chazza 35687. Because you can now pull to the outside and have a go around the outside of Parabolica. That's going to be tricky, but the racing line does favour the outside line. He just got to get ahead in the braking zone. Couldn't do it. He's got to try to stay with him as much as he can, get the DRS, and he'll be able to attack into turn 1, but it looks like he's going to attack before turn 1. He gets the better run. Anil Tanovic goes wide. Now Anil Tanovic has DRS, and he's going to try and use that to get back ahead of the Mercedes. We'll see how that goes for him as they come into turn 1 once again. Are we going to see anything special from Anil Tanovic? No, we are not. He is going to get the job done for the day, and he's happy with that. Absolutely crazy stuff. The battle for third is incredible at the moment, and it looks like the super softs are not too comfortable at the moment. JD7 has closed back in on second meanwhile. Wants the second back from the medium place runner. JD7 has the benefit of experience, I would say, in this battle against Blizzard. So he's going to be pushing with all his might to catch him back, but he's locking the tyres up at every opportunity. Look how close these guys are. Second to fifth, all in the same pan shot. Is great to see. Seppi picks up a 3-second penalty for corner cutting. Should mention Ragnar Nemesis and the Renault team doing a great job at their home Grand Prix. It's KLC gets lapped on lap 8. Been a bit of a trial by fire for KLC. He's darting in and out of the traffic there. That's a bit naughty. He's got a little bit to learn, KLC, at the moment. Meanwhile, JD7, this is the opportunity he's been waiting for. And next up is an attack into turn 1. What's JD going to do here? Because the Ferrari's going to go defensive. He'll have to do it around the outside. He's done it before. Holds the outside line into turn 1. That means into turn 2, aka the second part of the chicane. He has the inside, just like that. Boom, that's a good one. And he's got the job done. Textbook stuff from JD7, the man who has won so many races, and he's usually a bit more comfortable than he is here, because the Ferrari is now coming back at him, and he's going to try to do a move around the outside of the second chicane. This will be something. JD7 has the inside line now, and I think he's going to hold it as a result of that. I might put the Ferrari off a little bit, because the Mercedes is all up in his mirrors now. Going to be absolutely incredible stuff. Meanwhile, Dafiv and Galactical 2 are doing battle 2, but it's so hard to tell where to look. We'll quickly take a look at them. What's the battle going on here? Oh, Colin McAllister fancied a move on his teammate there. Almost collided with him, and will stay along for now. But in the meantime, what's going on between Chazza and Blizzard? Nothing at the moment. If any of them going to make a mistake out of Ascari, I think Blizzard is on the attack on JD7 again. We ride on board with the Ferrari now. He's going to look to the inside to make a move at Parabolica, but I think he might just hold back and wait for the DRS assistance to help him out coming into turn 1, and he'll try do exactly what JD7 did to him. I am positive of it. But now Chazza is well in the mix as well. 0.3 of a second. KB Killerzone from the lead comes into the pits. It's time to get their soft tyres off. But the battle for first is still on. He's going to try go around the outside, do the exact same what JD7 did to him. Contact, he's pushing him along the corner. Can't get the job done. JD7 temporarily stays in the lead. That's going to allow Chazza in the background to have a little bit of a run, but he's on soft tyres too. And if they've gone off for the man who's had no battles at all this race, that means definitely that'll be going off for Chazza, in my opinion. And Ferrari is not wanting to lose this McLaren. How long has it been since we've seen a Ferrari and McLaren battle for the lead like this? It's been too damn long. And we're being treated to it here at Monza. And it is... Oh, look at Chazza. He's come out of nowhere in this equation. All of them but JD7 now will have the DRS. I get the feeling Chazza might be pitting at the end of this lap. You don't see the pit light on his steering wheel. Interesting how the medium tyres have got more grip now than the soft tyres, because the soft tyres are going off the cliff. Interesting spectacle, to say the least. 17 laps to go, and it's been nothing short of crazy. JD7 goes a little wide out of Parabolica. Not going to affect him. Oh, JD7 looked like he was going to go into the pit lane there. Maybe he was faking out the Blizzard runner, but now Blizzard comes for an attack once again. He really wants the inside line this time. JD's confident he can hold it around the outside, though. He opts for the outside line. Big lock up for JD7. Holds the outside line, gives him the inside for the next corner. Oh, contact between the Ferrari and the Mercedes. Chazza give Blizzard a little bit of a push through turn 1 there. Got both of them, got sideways. Blizzard holds on to second place, but there was contact between the Mercedes and the Ferrari. Crazy stuff. Again, more new music to your ears if your name is KB Killerzone, because the guys who are trying to overcut you are battling and losing time all around the circuit. KB Killerzone's doing a bit of a battle in itself, though. Chazza looked to the inside of Lesmer, too, unable to do anything, but that giving him a supreme run, and that's actually going to allow him to challenge JD7 into the Ascari chicane. We'll see how this one goes. He looks to the inside, has to pull back in. And up for now, we'll quickly take a look on what's happening with KB Killerzone and Nemesis. Nemesis has been overtaken, but now it's time for Blizzard to have another go. Up into Parabolica they will come. He tried to maximise the amount of slipstream he's getting out of there. Chaz is falling away from this battle as his tyres are falling away from the track. He needs to pit before it's too late. Blizzard up into P1, but for how long? Where was the DRS detection point? I think it was right there. That means JD7 might get the DRS. JD7 gets the DRS, swoops back past. Like it wasn't even a challenge. The Ferrari desperate to get P1. But JD has an answer for everything the Ferrari throws at him. Chazza opts to stay out on some very one times. We got a yellow flag in Sector 2. It has now gone in the meantime. Are we about to see a move from Seppi? No, because he dives into the pits. Battle still going on. JD's gone defensive to the inside. Blizzard now looks to the inside of Lesmo 1. Nowhere to go with it. Will there be an opportunity in Lesmo 2? I don't think there will. I think he's going to settle for DRS for an attempt into Oscari once again. Chazza is loving this, and so is KB Killerzone. Here they go, JD7 under pressure once again. Nowhere to go with it for the moment. Absolutely crazy battle. And they are coming into Parabolica. Do let me know what you want on the display and I'll do my best. Meantime, we have a Williams weaving on the start-finish straight. What is the Williams doing? This could very well end up... It looks pretty fishy, but he's got the leaders behind him. He needs to get out the way. This better not ruin a great battle for the leaders. He gets out of the way. But it just seems a bit interesting that he'd be weaving down the straight like that. But nevertheless, Blizzard to the inside. He has the momentum for now. Goes up the inside. JD7 settles down back into P2. And the battle resumes once again. This time it's JD7's turn to go on the offensive. He's going to be pushing, but now he has Chazza behind him. Chazza's got a bit of a great run out of Lesmo too. He's going to be opting for a little bit of DRS too, I'm sure. These guys are enjoying this battle so much, but they need to think about the longer game here because KB Killerzone is now back up to V4, only 16 seconds off the lead. It takes about 20 seconds for a whole pit stop here. We have another car going slowly ahead. Not sure who it is. Paddy Brick's disconnected car, I think. We've all calmed down for a little bit. Blizzard resume the lead of the race. JD7 in P2. Will any of them take this opportunity to pit? Let's find out. None so far, not even Chazza. Chazza thinks he can get more out of these tyres than any other of the soft tyre runners. Then again, the Renaults of Ragnar and Nemesis haven't pitted either. Battle for the lead once again. Nowhere to go with it for JD7 though. Look to the outside, had nothing to go with it. We have a yellow flag in sector 3. I'm not sure what that's for, but nevertheless, we're going to continue watching this battle. That's an AI car of Paddy Brick. He's not in the race. So they can just ignore that coming through the second chicane. JD really applying the pressure to the Ferrari. Nowhere past him at the moment though. Just got to wait for a clean overtaking opportunity. Out of Lesmo 2. Chazza's got a run on JD7. But JD7 has DRS 2. The only man without DRS in this situation is Blizzard. Blizzard looks quite comfortable as they come into Ascarida. Norfolk Blue pits for a second time for the medium tyres. JD7 closed up on Blizzard that time around. Wasn't close enough though, but Blizzard's rear end has just got very loose. That's going to put him under pressure, I think, from JD7. We have a yellow flag in sector 2. That's already cleared itself up though. JD7 very close, almost pushing him through Parabolica. Opts for the wider racing line. Here they go, and Chazza finally opts to take a pit stop, and now the battle is down to a dogfight between McLaren and Ferrari. DRS wide open, Ferrari goes defensive, McLaren tries to go around the outside again, double lockup for JD7, will help the tyre life, but he's not able to get it around the outside to give him the inside for the next corner, and he'll have to settle down and wait for that one again. KB Killerzone firmly past Chazza without even a scrub of a challenge, because they've all been battling so much. Chazza tried to stay out for that long so he could go super softs to the end. 12 laps on the super soft. It is Monza with low tyre wear, but it's going to be tricky, I think, for him to get that Dafiv up into P4. Yet to pit though. He's under attack by Chazza, he's under attack by Nemesis. There's too many gaps to monitor at one time, because the battle's still going on. Big lockup for JD7. We've got yellow flags in sector 2. Whenever we see yellow flags declared, I'm not entirely sure what KLC is doing here, but yeah, it's not looking good for KLC. This could very much end up in a race disqualification and or ban. He's just messing around on the circuit at the moment. Meanwhile, Chazza Going to have a go on Dafiv. Could be crucial for the race a little bit later. He pulls to the inside of the Toro Rosso. DRS wide open. Around the outside. Nothing Dafiv can answer with. Job done for Chazza. Up into P4 he will go. KB Killzone trying to chase down these top two, but the top two are continuing to just pull each other along. What else is going on? That's Skull 2. Only 6 tenths of a second behind Nemesis Racing. Nemesis Racing yet to pit on them soft compound tyres. I feel he might do that this lap. It's very possible. And he looks like he's going to the inside line. He's not. Meanwhile, Ragnar and Callum J. Spencer are about to do battle. Callum J. Spencer right up behind Ragnar. Needs the DRS assistance to get a run into Ascari. DRS open. These are your guys on the left-hand side of the screen who have stopped and who haven't. And Callum just got that corner all wrong. He won't be able to challenge for now. We're going to go back to this battle because look how close. Got Skull 2 to Nemesis. He pulls to the inside. He's going to have to do it late on the brakes. Up the inside into the second chicane. Job done for Galactic Skull 2. Past Nemesis he will go. Nemesis on the older soft compound tyres that are starting to lose their magic. And Altanovic closing in on this as well. And Altanovic, unfortunately, seems to be out of the battle for the podium positions at the moment. Battle at the front is still very much nose and tail. No actual battle. We're just waiting for one of them to make the decision to pit. In the meantime, they're just pulling each other along with the DRS assistance. Nemesis, is he trying to come back? I think he's definitely trying to come back. Whether the tyres will let him or not, we'll have to see. We're out of Bible Force India. He's a bit far back. Lovely helicopter shot. Ragnar and Callum Spencer, I believe, are exchanging positions. Callum Spencer's gone off then. Callum Spencer has had a spin at the second chicane and has gone off. Daffyd pits finally on their medium tyres. One of the first of the medium runners to pit, I would say. And Altanovic closing in on... we have KLC has finally decided to retire. He's actually crashed out. And, oh, look how close he was to the leaders there. KLC, a bit of a interesting day. He's just been, I'm not sure how to describe it. Meanwhile, Nemesis Racing, look at the gap. He's actually under pressure from Altanovic. And Altanovic has actually just gone past him there. Job done for Anel. Battle for the lead has resumed though. JD7's had a supreme run through Ascari. That's put him right on the back of the Ferrari, right on his gearbox. Oh, look how close these guys are now. JD7, DRS, 0.2 of a second behind the man. He needs to take 10-second time penalty for Ragnar. That's a very harsh penalty. Must have been something serious. To the outside goes JD7, trying to do his textbook move. Get into the outside, that on the inside, but instead he's going to opt for a little bit of a switchback, try and get better results out of that. I think Ragnar has just crashed out of the race. He looks like he has. So DNF for Ragnar. Meanwhile, we're going to go straight back to the battle for the lead because JD7 still very much with Blizzard, looking to try and stay with him as much as he can. Heavy braking into the second chicane, and he's got to settle down because his yellow flags. I'm not sure he's allowed to overtake here. I don't think he's allowed to overtake, so he has to settle in and stay right behind Blizzard for now. And to come out of Lesmo 2, though, he'll have a run of DRS up to the Ascari chicane, but he's double locked up, and there goes that momentum. And he's dropped out. He's playing with the steering, so we can see he's in rich mix. He has a bit of spare fuel to play with. How much does Blizzard have? Blizzard's actually in lean, trying to save fuel, whereas JD7 has a lot of fuel to play with. Yellow flags in sector 3, and I think that's just for the. It's actually for Callum J. Spencer. He's had another spin coming out of the Ascari chicane. In the meantime, you battle for the lead. JD7 versus the debutant of Blizzard. This has been a very convincing debut for Blizzard. It could be something special in NORL. He's taking on one of the fastest names in the brand. And so far winning that battle. KB Killzone must be thinking, when are these guys going to pit? We've only got... They're going to be going right to the end. I wonder if they're going to pit for Ultra Sauce potentially. Of course, Chaz is on the super soft. but he's nowhere near to catching up KB Killzone at the moment. He's got a long way to go. JD7, they're just pulling each other along. It's almost as if they're communicating and saying, look, let's just help each other because we have two guys that are trying to undercut us. Pull me along. And for God's sakes, when you're going to make a move, make it. Let's not spend time dilly-dallying battling. DRS open for JD7 then. Nothing going to happen into Ascari chicane. He'll have to do it into Parabolica or into turn 1 would be my guess. It's all about how much time he can gain. This is going to be interesting because I'm going to try and get this up, look. He's in Rich Mix, Blizzard in Lean Mix. So that means the McLaren has superior top line speed up the inside into Parabolica. Job done, but that's going to allow that Ferrari to go back into Rich Mix, as you can see on the fuel there. And JD7 pits. So that all worked out for JD7. He knew what he needed to do. KB Killerzone's coming out the final corner now, so I think he's easily going to get P2. There's JD7 into the pits. He's going for super soft tyres. It's going to have to be a charge to try and catch KB Killzone, because there goes KB Killzone. JD7 only just coming out of the pits. Where's Chazza? Chazza even gets JD7. JD7 is going to have completely fresh tyres till the end of the race, and he's undercut Blizzard by some margin. So Blizzard has got a long way to go so they can get into the pits once again. So he's going to be hung out to dry. KB Killzone pulls them back in. Chaz is on a charge. JD7's on a charge, and I'm sure we'll be getting back to that in a few laps' time. It's nice to see that things have calmed down a little, and I can stop shouting for a moment or two. Under Spencer's actually just been lapped. Paddy Brick's AI is about to be lapped also. So we watch the leader to see if the leader will pit on this lap. Kevin Jacobs and Seppi both pit. Will he pit? Yes, he will. This is going to be the interesting one to watch then, where he comes out in respect to JD7, because these guys are going to have fresh tyres till the end, which means 100% pushing from both of these guys. Into the pits comes the Ferrari. I'm almost certain KB Killzone and Chazza will undercut him, but it's JD7 we need to know about. JD7 on the run up to the pit lane. Blizzard coming to the end of the pit lane now. This might be a little bit closer than we could have thought. There's JD7. There's Blizzard. Out of the pits comes Blizzard. And JD7's comfortably undercut him. And now they've both got to make a charge. Actually, that's Chanza right there, but that's his teammate of Super Ninja Skills that JD7 is behind. So they'll be praying that JD7 holds him up a little bit. We've got to wonder how the tyres are going to be done for KB Killzone for the next 6 laps, because these are quite old mediums, but we've seen just how far we can take the mediums. So it's really going to be, there's no doubt he'll make it to the end, but it's really a case of how slow are they compared to the So let's get the tyres up. These are the tyre situation as we come into the final stop. Here's your fastest laps. Chazza actually holds the fastest lap at the moment on them super softs during his charge by quite some margin. And there's your gaps to each other. KB Killzone will be hoping for a trouble-free run to the end of the race. The others will be hoping anything but. That's Skull 2's trying to chase on his teammate David, trying not to be outdone on his debut. Fastest lap for JD7. The hunt begins. Tactics Skull 2 really trying his best to catch up to his teammate, but losing a bit of time and finding it in some areas. It's interesting. These two look pretty evenly matched in the Toro Rossos. Be a good day. Double point scoring for the both of them, I'm sure, for the Toro Rossos home Grand Prix. 1 second. He needs a little bit more for some DRS assistance. So far his teammates behind him. They're trying their best. He's just got within a tenth of a second by the end of that straight. So it looks like Galactical 2 is running less wings than Dafiv. Oh, we made some gains around turn 1 and 2 as well. Around the curve. Into the second chicane. Yeah, Skull 2 is starting to take big gains out of him on this lap. Needs to stay calm. Battle of the teammates coming up next. We'll certainly have DRS on the run to Ascari. And hopefully can use that to close up. Therefore, have an attempt to attack into Parabolica or turn 1 now on the next lap. 7 tenths was the gap at the start, and it would seem 7 tenths is the gap at the end as well. Big mistake from McAllister. We have yellow flags in sector 3. Where are they from? It's Callum Spencer again. He's had another spin. Absolute nightmare for Callum Spencer today. A man who's won races, a man who's challenged for race wins and stuff. He's had just an awful day in the office today, and he'll be wanting to forget about it as soon as he can. Black Skull 2 chases his teammate to the best of his ability. But it seems like it might be a losing battle at the moment. Okay then, so let's take a look at Blizzard and JD. What kind of gains are they making? They pulled the gap into 1.7 seconds to Chaz, and Chaz just pulled the gap into 2.8 on KB Killzone. So pressure being applied a little bit, but only 5 laps to go. They're really going to have to start making a bit more progress than that, you would feel, to really be a challenge for the race win here today. Seems that the fun and games part of the race is all but finished. We just have to play the wait again now. The gap's just updated actually. Oh no, they've changed again. For 1 second it said Blizzard will win 7 tenths of a second. That's certainly interesting. I will try my best to show the last lap times. Unfortunately, I only think we can have fastest laps. Or I can get the lap data up. And I can only get the fastest laps up. So I'll leave the lap data up. But unfortunately that would seem the best I can do because there's not much else I can do. But I can leave lap data up, that's all that I have the option to do, unfortunately. Nevertheless, the battle continues. 1 second, JD7 has pulled the gap into Chazza now, so Chazza really found the sweet spot with them super softs and it looks like it's gone past. Blizzard picks up another penalty. That could prove crucial towards the end of the race. 9 tenths of a second separate JD and Chazza now. This is where JD needs to get past Chazza as quick and clean as possible so he can go after KB Killzone. I think if anyone's going to take that race win today away from KB Killzone, it would be JD. JD really needs to get to work on doing that. Gains a lot. He needs a good run out of this chicane so he can challenge into the second chicane. How good is the traction? Looks reasonable. Is it good enough? Right on board with the rear of the Mercedes. He's gaining. He's gaining significantly. Looks to the inside. No way he can do it. Oh, every time. Oh, and look at that. Look at the run JD7 got. I would have thought he'd fancy a pop up the inside of the Lesmo there. Unfortunately, that looks like it's not going to be the case for JD7. Yellow flags in Sector 2. Toro Rossos are doing some insane battling and weaving. JD7 pulls to the outside. Around the outside he will go into Ascari. Job done for JD7. Chazza now tucks back in. He's now going to think about the pressure that's going to come from the Ferrari. The Ferrari cuts the corner and tries to get on the back of that Mercedes as quickly as it can to try follow the McLaren through, but now the McLaren's got to get to work on staying ahead and chasing down KB Killzone. He's only got 2 laps, but if it depends on how one KB Killerzone's tight, because it's 2 seconds lap is extremely possible if the guy in front of you is on very old tyres. But here goes the Ferrari around the outside, which is actually the inside when it turns the camera for the turn 1. Job done, nice and easy. And that just shows how much difference the tyres have made JD7 really didn't want that Ferrari to come and play havoc with him here because JD7 had a chance of winning, and now the Ferrari is like, nope, I want second, and the battle continues all over again. To the inside goes Blizzard 53. He will look up the inside, he will brake heavily, and he will get the job done. JD7 will try to hold it around the outside, get squeezed off, up onto the curbs, off the track, drops back down into P3, and this is all beautiful. If you're this man, you can just watch how long it takes these guys to follow him out that corner. There they are just now. JD7 has almost got a country drive to the end of the race. Oh, JD7 in the wall. What's just happened there? JD7 went into the wall. Was that contact between himself and the Ferrari? And now JD7 goes wide, as allows Chazza to go around the outside and take third place back away from JD7. What happened there? JD7 has wing damage. He went up into the wall. What just happened? Was there contact between the Ferrari? It didn't look like it. Was he a little bit of lag involved in that incident? JD7 now retakes third place with just 2 laps to go. And now JD7 will try his best to get the position back from Blizzard 53. Up the inside he will go, into turn 1, back up into P2 for JD7, despite having that wing damage from whatever just happened going into the Ascari chicane. But now the Ferrari is genuinely pushing the McLaren through the first chicane, and this battle just went up a weight class. Excuse me. We'll continue with the action straight away, and it looks like the Ferrari is losing a little bit of time to JD7 now. I wonder if that was lag, because it doesn't look like any wing damage is affecting JD7 at that point. That McLaren is doing, that Ferrari, sorry, is doing a lot of short shifting. He's massively out of fuel. Look at the fuel remaining for the Ferrari. That could be game, set, and match, because JD7 has all the fuel in the world, and that Ferrari is struggling for fuel. And that's what happens with inexperience. You make mistakes in underfueling and stuff like that. We've got Dafiv off. The Toro Rosso that was battling with his teammate. What's the contact between the two Toro Rossos? The Toro Rosso is struggling to get back going. What's going on for Dafiv? xxkillshotzxx wins the race. Chazza will come home in P3. Blizzard P4, no, Chazza second. Because JD7 and Blizzard, it would seem, have penalties. Did we just miss the end there? Dafiv is... I'm not sure what Dafiv is doing. It seems these inexperienced racers are a bit upset, but it all ended with short shifting for the Ferrari. That put him under pressure away from Chazza. Chazza kept his nose squeaky clean, takes P2 on the penalties. Dafiv will get disqualified from the session, and I wonder if the stewards will choose to keep that, because he started doing donuts on the final lap. They'd be well within their rights to keep that and keep him disqualified. Nemesis Racing will come home P7. Great job for Nemesis. Norfolk Blue will be P8. He'll be disappointed with that. Seppi P9 and Kevin Jacobs P10. xxkillshotzxx was the man on top though today. He got the strategy right, and when JD7 could have come back at him, the debutant who wanted a podium was in the way. And that's the story of this race. We have a Haas in the wall, but xxkillshotzxx takes a well-deserved win here at Monza after a chaotic race. We've had ups and downs and just some overall crazy stuff going on. Great racing from all of these guys. Thank you ever so much, guys, for watching the race. It's been a great race. We can see xxkillshotzxx up on the podium once again, joined by Chazza and JD7. JD7 could or should have had second place, but penalties from Chazza, and Chazza is very consistent with not taking penalties, so that gave him the position at the end of the day. There's your top 3, and that will have some interesting complications on the championships. JD7 will lose a lot of points, obviously, but xxkillshotzxx continues his surge at the top. And there are your race results. Penalties are plenty. 17 seconds for Callum J. Spencer down there in P12. Oof. Crazy race. Thank you ever so much for watching, guys. And until next week, we will see you again. Bye for now.